How to talk to anyone in English. Many people dream of speaking English fluently, effortlessly connecting with others. The desire is strong, yet the journey often feels daunting, fraught with self-doubt and the persistent fear of making embarrassing mistakes. This story shares a path to overcome these hurdles, transforming hesitant whispers into confident conversations, starting today. Have you ever felt that familiar knot in your stomach when someone asks you a question in English? The words get stuck, your mind races, and frustration builds, leaving you feeling utterly defeated. This common, paralyzing experience is a major barrier for countless aspiring speakers globally. It's time to understand why this happens and how to change it. One primary reason for our hesitation is the ingrained fear of error. We are taught to aim for perfection, believing any slip-up indicates complete failure. This perfectionist mindset, however, cripples our natural progress and stifles genuine expression. It forces silence instead of encouraging brave attempts at communication. Embracing mistakes as vital learning opportunities is the first profound shift needed. They are not roadblocks or signs of inadequacy, rather, they are invaluable stepping stones on your dynamic language journey. Every error is a lesson learned, a data point for your brain to refine its understanding and improve naturally. Why do I always make mistakes, you might wonder? Because you are speaking, you are trying. Making errors is a natural, unavoidable part of acquiring any new skill, especially a language. It signifies engagement and courage, not incompetence. Celebrate these attempts, they are proof of your active participation. So, how do you begin to dismantle this pervasive fear and actually start talking with confidence? The foundational step, surprisingly, doesn't directly involve speaking at all. It begins with the fundamental act of listening. Immersion in the sounds of English prepares your brain for effective output later on. Listen English actively, not just as passive background noise. Tune into podcasts, watch movies or TV shows with English subtitles first, then without. Engage with English radio and consume content that genuinely captivates your interest. The more you hear, the more your brain absorbs patterns, rhythms, and vocabulary naturally. This active engagement with spoken English builds your internal linguistic database. It sharpens your ear to different accents, intonations, and speeds of speech. Think of it as filling your mental library with valuable resources. The richer your input, the better equipped you'll be for the output phase when you start speaking yourself. Once your ears are tuned and your brain is soaking up English sounds, your next powerful tool is surprisingly simple: talking to yourself. Yes, you heard that right. Your home provides the safest, most judgment-free environment for initial English talking practice. There's no pressure, no fear of embarrassment. How to talk at home to yourself effectively? Start by narrating your daily activities aloud. Describe what you're doing: I am making coffee now, or I'm opening the window. Articulate your thoughts, feelings, and future plans. Even simple observations can become powerful speaking exercises for your mind. Engage in imaginary conversations with yourself or even with inanimate objects. Explain complex ideas, argue different points of view, or role-play scenarios you might encounter in real life. This seemingly peculiar habit is incredibly effective for building confidence and activating your internal English voice for ready use. Self-talk helps you retrieve words faster and structure sentences more naturally without the immediate pressure of a live audience. You can experiment with different phrases, correct yourself without shame, and focus purely on articulating your thoughts. It's your private linguistic playground for unlimited experimentation and growth. Another fantastic way to make learning enjoyable, effective, and memorable is to learn English through stories. Human beings are intrinsically wired for narratives. Stories provide invaluable context, emotion, and compelling scenarios for new vocabulary and complex grammatical structures. They transform abstract rules into living examples. Instead of rote memorization of isolated word lists, you encounter new vocabulary within a compelling plot. This contextual learning makes words stick far more readily in your long-term memory. The emotional engagement with a story also strengthens the neural pathways associated with that language, aiding recall. Find short stories, graded readers appropriate for your level, or even simple news articles that genuinely captivate your interest. Listen to audiobooks alongside reading the text. Watch animated shorts or popular TV series with compelling storylines. The key is engagement. Interest fuels your learning engine consistently. After engaging with a story, try retelling it in your own words. Summarize the plot, describe the characters, or discuss the themes. This active recounting forces you to retrieve vocabulary and construct sentences, transforming passive input into active output. It's a powerful bridge from understanding to speaking effectively. Now, let me tell you talking tips that will revolutionize your interactions with others. When you're ready to engage in live conversations, remember that simplicity often trumps silence. Don't overthink, focus on communicating your core message clearly, even if it's imperfect. Firstly, initiate conversations with basic greetings and direct, simple questions. How are you today? What did you do this weekend? These open the door without demanding complex responses. Remember, the goal is to break the ice and get your voice moving comfortably. Secondly, ask open-ended questions that encourage more than a yes or no answer. Instead of "Did you enjoy the movie?" try "What did you find most interesting about the movie?" This invites the other person to elaborate, giving you more context for your subsequent response. Thirdly, practice active listening during your interactions. Show that you are engaged by nodding, maintaining appropriate eye contact, and offering brief affirmations like "I see," "Really?" or "That's interesting." This encourages the speaker and shows respect for their contribution, fostering connection. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't understand something. Phrases like "Could you please repeat that?" or "What does word mean?" are perfectly acceptable and demonstrate your commitment to understanding. Native speakers appreciate your effort and willingness to learn. When you don't know a specific word, try to describe it using other words you know. This circumlocution is a highly effective communication strategy that native speakers also use. It builds your linguistic flexibility and confidence, pushing you to think creatively in English. Building on these tips, let's discuss your English study plan for talking. This isn't about cramming, it's about structured, consistent exposure and practice. Your plan should integrate listening, self-talk, story engagement, and eventually, real-world conversations in a progressive manner. Start step-by-step talking, don't try to leap into advanced debates immediately. Begin with mastering simple phrases for daily interactions. Focus on practical communication needs first, like introducing yourself, ordering food, or asking for directions in various contexts. Set realistic, achievable mini-goals. Perhaps this week your goal is to describe your morning routine aloud to yourself for 5 minutes. Next week, maybe you'll aim to ask 3 new questions to a friend or language partner. Celebrate each small victory along the way. These small wins are crucial for building confidence and momentum. They reinforce positive habits and show you that progress, no matter how incremental, is happening consistently. Avoid comparing your journey to others, focus solely on your own growth and development. English talking practice should be consistent, even if it's brief. Daily exposure, even for 10 or 15 minutes, is far more effective than an intense, infrequent study session. Regularity helps cement new vocabulary and grammatical structures in your long-term memory. Utilize technology for your practice. There are numerous language exchange apps where you can find native speakers willing to chat. Participate in online forums or social media groups dedicated to English learning. Don't underestimate the power of short, frequent interactions. Record yourself speaking and listen back. This can be uncomfortable at first, but it's an incredibly effective way to identify areas for improvement in pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Compare your recordings to native speakers and gently refine your speech patterns over time. Remember that progress in language learning is rarely linear. There will inevitably be days when you feel like you've taken 2 steps back, or when motivation wanes significantly. This is perfectly normal and a universal experience among language learners. Do not get discouraged easily. When frustration hits, revisit your core motivation. Why do you want to speak English fluently? Is it for travel, career opportunities, connecting with new cultures, or simply personal growth? Reconnecting with your why can reignite your passion and commitment to the journey. The most important advice of all, enjoy the process. Language learning shouldn't feel like a chore, it should be an exciting adventure of discovery. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the breakthroughs, and find joy in every new word or phrase you successfully use. Think of your English study plan as a lifestyle integration rather than a temporary task. Weave English into your daily routines. Change your phone language, listen to English music, read English news headlines. Consistent micro-exposures add up to significant progress over time. Your voice deserves to be heard, regardless of any perceived imperfections. The world is waiting to hear your unique perspective. Don't let the fear of always making mistakes silence your incredible potential. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner who dared to try. To summarize, the journey to fluency is built on several key pillars. Firstly, conquer your fear of mistakes by understanding they are essential for learning. Embrace them as guides, not as failures. Shift your mindset from perfection to progress, from silence to speaking. Secondly, cultivate active listening habits. Immerse yourself in English sounds through diverse media. This input phase is crucial for building the foundational understanding required for effective output. Your brain needs to hear the language to learn its nuances. Thirdly, empower yourself with the habit of talking to yourself at home. This private practice space allows for guilt-free experimentation, helps with word retrieval, and builds confidence without external judgment. Narrate, describe, and imagine conversations daily. Fourthly, learn English through stories. This engaging method provides natural context for vocabulary and grammar, making learning enjoyable and memorable. Retell stories in your own words to transform passive knowledge into active speaking ability. Fifthly, implement practical talking tips when interacting with others. Start simple, ask open-ended questions, and practice active listening. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification or use circumlocution when a specific word escapes you temporarily. Sixthly, embrace a step-by-step approach to talking. Set small, achievable goals and celebrate every victory, no matter how minor it seems. This incremental progress builds sustainable confidence and prevents feeling overwhelmed by the entire journey ahead. Seventhly, commit to consistent English talking practice. Regular, even brief, sessions are more beneficial than sporadic, intensive ones. Make speaking English a daily habit, whether through self-talk, language partners, or real-world interactions whenever possible. Develop an English study plan for talking that integrates all these components systematically. Prioritize active output. Your plan isn't just about input, it's about actively producing the language. Balance your listening and reading with speaking and writing exercises for comprehensive growth. Consider joining online language communities or finding a dedicated conversation partner. Regular interaction with others provides real-time feedback and simulates authentic communication scenarios. These connections can be incredibly motivating and accelerate your progress significantly. Don't shy away from expressing yourself, even if your sentences are simple or grammatically imperfect. The primary goal is communication. Focus on conveying your message effectively, and fluency will naturally follow as you gain more experience and confidence in your abilities. The path to fluency is a journey of continuous improvement, not a destination of instant perfection. There will always be more to learn, new phrases to acquire, and subtle nuances to master. Embrace this ongoing learning process with curiosity and an open mind. Remember that every fluent speaker you admire was once exactly where you are now, a learner making mistakes, struggling with words, and feeling hesitant. Their success wasn't due to innate talent, but rather consistent effort, resilience, and a willingness to step outside their comfort zone repeatedly. So, banish the negative self-talk that tells you why I always make mistakes is a sign of failure. Instead, reframe it, I am making mistakes because I am trying, and that means I am learning and growing stronger with every single attempt at speaking. Your confidence will grow in proportion to your practice. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. The initial awkwardness will fade, replaced by a sense of accomplishment and genuine enjoyment in expressing yourself in a new language. Trust the process and believe in yourself. Imagine the possibilities that will open up once you can confidently talk to anyone in English. New friendships, exciting travel experiences, enhanced career prospects, and a deeper understanding of global cultures await you. This linguistic skill is truly a passport to the world. So, start today. Take that first step, whether it's listening to an English podcast, describing your morning coffee to yourself, or simply saying hello to an English speaker. Every small action builds towards your ultimate goal of fluent, confident communication. Remember these powerful insights and integrate them into your daily routine. Your journey to speaking English confidently is not about avoiding errors, but about embracing the learning process with courage and consistency. You have the power to unlock your voice. It's about cultivating a habit of constant engagement. Think of your mind as a muscle that gets stronger with regular exercise. The more you challenge it with English talking practice, the more agile and responsive it becomes in real-time conversations. Break down complex topics into simpler parts for discussion. If you want to talk about climate change, start by discussing weather patterns or local environmental issues. This strategy makes daunting subjects approachable, allowing you to build up vocabulary gradually and naturally. Focus on conveying your message, not on perfect grammar every single time. Sometimes, getting your point across, even imperfectly, is more important than striving for flawless sentences and getting stuck. Fluency is about flow, not just faultlessness. Engage with English content that genuinely excites you, whether it's cooking shows, documentaries about space, or video game commentaries. When you're passionate about the subject matter, the language becomes a tool for enjoyment, making the learning process feel effortless and fun. Finally, visualize yourself speaking English confidently. See yourself engaging in effortless conversations, expressing your ideas clearly, and understanding others easily. This mental rehearsal can significantly boost your confidence and prepare your mind for success in actual interactions. The journey is yours to create. By adopting these strategies, embracing mistakes, listening actively, talking to yourself, learning through stories, applying tips, and practicing step by step, you are well on your way. Your confident English voice awaits.